Good morning, my family. Yeah, it's definitely coffee time right now. I know it's been a hot minute since my last video, but honestly, we've had so much rain going on around here. We've been at a standstill. I am going to take you around and show you some of the things that I've been doing the last couple days, what we did over the weekend, and how we're preparing for spring. It's getting close. We are now reaching the end of February. Some of our seeds have been started. Today, like I said, I've been going by my chart. And so I am trying a new method this year by going by our extension office. Today, my plans are, now we are looking at big crops this year. I am doing turnips. I'm going to be doing giant radishes, D18 Jours radishes, some French breakfast, some Easter basket mix. I'm going to be doing some blue Scotch kale and Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. I was going to do Swiss chard, only I found out I was completely out, so I had to order some of those. I started another batch of seeds on our tomatoes and all. It looks like, I'm not quite sure, I've been keeping track from AccuWeather on our months ahead. It's just a basic guideline. It's not a definite thing that what's going to happen. It seems like we have an early spring, but just in case, I've been trying to, keep path of when to start my seeds regardless. So I have started our tomatoes. We have Amish paste. We have Rio Grande, which is another paste tomato. I have some tomatillos. I have some Paul Robson's, beef steaks, Kellogg breakfast. We have some Cherokee purple, mortgage lifters. My husband, he wanted some cherry tomatoes this year, so we've got the Chadwick cherry, the black tomato cherry, and the bumblebee sunrise cherry tomatoes. I also planted some Genovese basil, some Jamaican sorrel, and I have a few other seeds. I can't remember everything. I've just been starting them. I started our pepper seeds. They took a week and a half to germinate, and I'll show you those. Now, I had been doing an experiment, and although I know peat moss, sphagnum peat moss isn't the great, a lot of people will use coco coir, and honestly, between the two of them, I'm not sure which is even better. The first round that I did with my bok choy, and I'm going to show you, those are currently being transitioned to go into the ground. The bunching onions, they're already in the ground. I will show you all of that as well. But when I started those seeds, I used the peat moss, the perlite, vermiculite, and worm castings in that. And my soil was absolutely beautiful. The germination rate was fantastic. This round with my peppers, I had a bag of Jiffy Mix, so I thought I'm just going to use it. Now in it has a mixture of lime and sphagnum peat moss. Now the understanding, the reason they put the lime in is peat moss can be acidic. Now the acidity can be depleted by tap water, which has alkaline in it. And that would explain a lot, but I went and used the Jiffy Mix this time, and I did the same thing. I had a little bit of perlite to it, vermiculite, and worm castings, and there was something that happened to my soil I did not like whatsoever versus just using the peat moss mix that I did the first time. Now, I will tell you, I went back to that peat moss mix for the tomatoes and all the seeds I just planted yesterday. And the reason for it is, and I will show it to you on my seedlings, I have to actually transplant these peppers. I did plant a few more because the germination rate was okay, but not to my standard of where I wanted to be. So I planted some extras to see if this will work better. But I had noticed that this mixture with the Jiffy, I ended up with an algae on top of my soil. Versus the peat moss mix, I did not end up having that. So I am at the point of going back to my other method, and I found it worked better. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to take you around the farm, show you a few things that my husband built. He finished off my quail pen for me. We are currently waiting for our quail eggs to come in to hatch. We're going to be doing those by an incubator. He built some more bee trap boxes for us for swarm season. We're praying for that. In the meantime, our bees should be in about April the 15th. Our new stock, we have 2 sets coming of those. So we're fixing to pick up. Right now, we are just praying so much that this rain will stop. We are so overrun with rain. And just as it starts to sink into the ground, it comes back, and there's not enough time to evaporate all the water that we've been containing on this farm. And it can be a bit annoying. So basically the videos have slowed down because there's not much activity on the farm when we can't even get out of our own house. So I will take you around to show you what I have already done. And I am currently trying to find areas. This year I'm looking at categories. I have, for instance, 2 20-foot greenhouses. I'm looking at one as a pepper house, one as a tomato house. I have a section for just plain lettuce. I have a section for onions. And the reason for these categories is to help for me to maintain each area better instead of having it all mixed up. Now the tomatoes and basil will be together, but it just helps me to make things easier for me to know what's where and to categorize things. But now my place is figuring out where I want to put what. I am going to be replenishing the soils in my grow pots as I use them too. So I'll take you around now, and I'm going to show you the difference right now, what happened using that Jiffy mix. Now, I don't know, I can't actually say it's the mix itself, but this isn't the first time this has happened when I used it. So for those who do use it, and I did advise it, I'm not sure. It's up to you if you want to. And I did water bottom my plants, but it still happened that way. So I'll just say this. There's really nothing wrong. It is a virgin soil for seedlings, but just keep an eye on that. So I'll show you the peppers, and some of them I'm going to discard because they just did not do well. But I am going to transplant these, and I'll show you when the perfect time is to transplant your seedlings. So let's go over to the peppers. Okay, I am currently allowing some of this to dry a bit, but on these right here, it's hard to see it, but there's a green tinge around here, and I am not particularly liking this. Now, some of these, like this one here, I'm not sure I like the forming of the leaves on this. So, I mean, like this one here is another one. I'm not looking to transplant this. Basically, these are what I call weak seedlings. Now, like this one here, I am going to transplant, and these are the first set of leaves on these outside. This is my second set. When I start seeing these second set of leaves, it is time for me to start transplanting these. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. For the most part, we did get a good germination rate. And I have some eggplant mixed in here too. And out of 3 of them, I actually got 2. So these are good enough. However, these are not your typical eggplants. These are actually miniatures. Now this little baby here, this is a little weak one. Right over here. So, like I said, I am going to take the stronger. I am actually going to transplant these, and I'm going to take out the weaker ones, and I have some more transplants being done. So I'm going to take you outside next and show you, well, no, I'll show you what we planted yesterday and how we have this set up. Okay, so this is the system here. My husband built me this shelf right here, and it's just a simple base. It goes all the way across, and it has 2 ends on each end. he has over here, there's like little screws up here, and it allows me to hook my chains. Let's see if we can bring this closer. Allows me to hook my chains so that I can adjust the lighting. And currently you can see this lighting is very close to my seedling trays. This is all the crops that I planted yesterday. These are in here are mostly tomatoes, and in here is our miscellaneous from more peppers to Jamaican sorrel, stuff like that. So back here in the green areas is our Napa cabbage and just a couple cauliflower. Not everything came up on that either. And I'm still currently right here working on lemongrass. I am doing medicinal plants this year as well for teas. I found it was really good, so I'm going to go back to doing that. But this is just our simple setups right here, and we just use shop lights. We have that gray one back there is about a 3500 watt, I think, and this one here, I think it's about 23, 22. It may be higher than that, but we used about the brightest lumens that we can get for this. So, and this is how I do it every year, and it has worked perfectly. So this is the indoor. We end up using our dining room table for an indoor greenhouse, and I don't mind that because it starts my crops a lot this year. I've decided that I'm actually going to start straight in the ground by seed instead of pre-seeding them. The only ones I'm going to do is like the peppers and tomatoes. Those absolutely need it. So, but not everything does. So I'm going to wait for a specific time in April to plant those seeds straight in the ground. Now I'll take you outside and show you what has been planted, what's being transitioned, and the things that we were working on this weekend. So here is that bok choy that you saw as babies. They have absolutely grown so much that they need to get in the ground. So I am definitely having to transition them. This weather is not making it easy on me, but they are absolutely beautiful, y'all. I cannot wait. I can actually start picking some of this right now, but I'm wanting to get them to their full potential before I do. I could start using this as microgreen type of plants, but I'm just going to go ahead and wait. So these are currently being transitioned so that they can get in the ground. And I'll take you over to where the onions are next. Alright, these are the bunching onions that we had started indoors. They finally got transitioned and in the ground. They're doing absolutely amazing. Now these were the ones, this and the bok choy were the ones that I did with the sphagnum peat moss mix. They turned out absolutely amazing. Over here we have our lettuce bed starting. Now I told you I kept planting these way too early, and it has proven to me that I should have waited, because look at this. We are actually getting our lettuce coming up. Now this section here is bothering me. They're starting to come up. There's a few patches here and there. But again, with all this rain, I had a feeling that this was going to happen too. So, and there's nothing I can do about that. But I am happy that I have some lettuce. I did plant some cilantro as well, so we'll see what happens with that one. But like I said, I am going based by what are suggested, and I've never done this before with the extension office. I mean, what can I lose? I've done my best for the last 3 years, so why not try something new? And so far it's working fantastic. So I'll take you over to what my husband built me for the quail pen, and it is amazing to me. I've told y'all we've been getting so much rain. Look at this. It's driving me absolutely crazy. And like I said, it will start to dry up and it'll start to go down. Next thing you know, it starts raining again, and we just keep getting all of this rain. We are so saturated on this homestead. I'm about to go nuts. I'm going to take you inside the barn. So this is my quail pen hubby built for me. He's got this platform right here, and I'm going to take you around to the other side of it. That's just the side. But I'll see if I can move this around for you too. As you see these coiled rings around here, this is 3 sections for quail. Now, mind you, quail are very small birds. They are inside shelter of our barn. We are going to install or set up artificial lighting for them. This is the tray right here that pulls out that he built for me that will catch any of the quail mess, which actually I can use for fertilizer. It's so much safer to use it actually for composting than it is with chicken manure. I have another shelf down here that he's built with a platform on it. I can actually put different things on it. I could put planters, whatever I need, or whatever I need for the birds. The setup that he has with my doors, these coil latches, is for my doors to open out here. So, and like I said, quail don't need a lot. So this will work perfectly. We're not getting a whole bunch of them. We're keeping it to a small minimal. So, and I love the fact of getting quail eggs. They are super beneficial, highly more beneficial actually, even with immune boosting in it, than chicken eggs have. So that's one reason I wanted my quails back. So that and the fact of the fertilizer and so much more. But we are going back to our quails, and I cannot wait for that. So, and they'll be in our barn. So it's going to be up against this wall right here. Right now, everything is just not set up, and they haven't even shipped my eggs yet. So I'll show you the bee boxes he's building too. Remember those little tiny microgreen bed my husband turned around and planted? I told you all about weeks ago. Well, here is that bed, and we've been little by little picking it and feeding it to our chickens. They absolutely love this stuff, but this stuff has absolutely gone crazy. So, and across this fence line, we're going to be planting our pole beans very soon. So, I thought I'd go ahead and show that to you, show you the update on this. This went absolutely crazy. These are the tall bee boxes that he's building. These are actually swarm traps. We have found that the bigger the boxes were, the bees actually enjoyed these a whole lot more. Matter of fact, I don't know if I can get close enough to show you, but they're already investigating this one, which was an old one from last year. So this is a good sign for us. They're going inside, they're checking it out. So this is really, really cool. And that's last year's box. But we're finding they enjoyed these boxes a whole lot more than the smaller ones. So he went and built a few more for us. So we're going to see if we can catch some wild bees and use them on our apiary as well. So at this point, I'll bring you back indoors. So currently, that's what's going on the homestead. We are trying to be prepared for what more we have to come. We are trying to be prepared at getting our seeds planted, our plants planted in the ground for our new season. We're trying to keep on record the best that we can, working between rain. And how this is working, we'll get maybe 1 or 2 really good days. Now last weekend it was really, really cold on us, and it seemed like at this point that was our last frost. However, this could flip really quick come April. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. But for now, it gets 1 or 2 days, beautiful days like it is outdoors now, and then all of a sudden 3 days consecutively it does nothing but rain. So, and this is the way it's been going for weeks. Many of you, I understand, are getting snowed in while we're being rained out. So it's a hard winter, y'all. It really is. It can be depressing when there's so much you want to do. But even us, I mean, we've got temps going to 70s and 80s. However, even with those kind of temps, you can only do so much when it's pouring down rain outside. You can't do anything. And my ground, gosh almighty, Lord have mercy, it is muddy. My coops, everything is a complete wreck right now, and all I can do is just bear it like you all do with all the snow and everything. My prayers are going out for all of you who are fixing to get hit. If you are in those areas, subscribe to us. my prayers are going out to you, because it's going to be rough, and I completely understand that. I understand how you feel. Even though I don't have the snow, I have the rain. So it's just as devastating to be locked up in your house when you want to get outside so badly. So we're almost out of it, y'all. We're almost there. Just hang in there. The same thing I have to keep reminding myself, this too shall pass. It may come a point where, you know, God knows what we need, but come summertime, it has me concerned is, are we going to have another dry, hot summer? So I'm going to take what I can get. I'm going to bear it the best that I can, and I will try to be able to keep up with these videos as much as I possibly can, but it's really hard when you're at a standstill. So, and when things start picking up and I can start showing better progress, I'll let you know. So in the meantime, I love you all dearly. I thank you for, I've been noticing that you've been watching the past videos. Thank you for that very much. Thank you to the new subscribers who had joined our family. God bless you. And until next time, I'll keep up with y'all as much as possible. Right now, I'm going to be doing some planting and transplanting, so hallelujah for that. Now, the ones that I'm fixing to plant, those are cool weather. Those absolutely can go outside right now by seed, and we'll be doing good. So the other ones, though, they're going to have to be worked indoors until about the 18th of April before they can go outside. And again, I'll have to transition all of these plants as well. So in the meantime, that's where we're at. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will try to come up with some different ones here in the future as well. Much love to you all. God bless, and we will catch you next time. Parton's Heritage Homestead.